Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be looking at the Hyundai Sonata N-Line. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with this Sonata. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a turbo 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed dual clutch. Fuel economy is 23 around town and then 32 on the highway, with power outputs being 290 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, it raises up towards the center, but the cool part is the lights. Got this cool kind of like light bar across the front end. The headlights are actually down below in a separate unit. And then you do have a little N-Line badge there off to the side. But yeah, overall the new Sonata kind of has that spaceship type look. It's very interesting. Now our tire wheel setup is 245 by 40 by 19. You got a little N logo there in the center of the wheel. N-Line here on the side. And you'll notice there's that little lighting element. It's a little turn signal indicator there on the side. And then the Sonata is a larger car. This is similar in size to like a Toyota Camry. So you can see that sleek side profile. Now this leads us to the key fob where we have our lock and unlock function. We've got the remote start function as well. And very futuristic looking, that's for sure. Now with the trunk, you got the little popper right there at the top. Tons of storage space. You can fold down the seats, which here, let me show you guys a little bit better view if you want more storage. But it's a bigger car, so it's nice that you've got plenty of space. And we'll plop that down. This is cool how that kind of goes across. And then look at the taillights with this. That's pretty fun. And then I love all the exhaust tips there at the bottom. You have one exhaust tip per cylinder on this car. So that's the rest of the rear. This leads us inside where we've got some soft touch here. Down below as well, and you can see with the stitching that goes across. This is cool how it kind of arcs across. And then here are the seats. That's nice with the trim. Quickly pop in. Legroom back here, good. We've got a couple of vents here, USB ports below that as well. And then headroom back here is actually pretty good, even though the design slopes quite a bit. And I will say, these are probably some of the coolest seats that you'll have in a car in this segment. And then popping up front, again, really nice trim all over. Get all of our window controls here, the mirror adjustments, speaker for the Bose sound system, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And the front seats have the N logo, really aggressive bolstering all down the seat. Power adjustments there on the side. And then you got stuff like your parking brake here, open up the trunk, and then you do get fancier pedals there at the bottom as well. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got the new logo there in the center and logo down below. Paddle shifters here on the back for the 8-speed. We've got adaptive cruise control with our lane centering. Got volume and voice command controls as well. Turn signal light stock. Got our windshield wiper stock. Column shifter, which is nice to free up space. So we've got this digital gauge cluster, which we can use to see different bits of info and systems within the car. Pretty easy to scroll through all of that. And then drive mode as well. It'll kind of change a little bit in sport, but it's not like a crazy change with the gauge cluster. In reverse, we do have a backup camera, which trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Pretty good resolution overall with the camera. And then this is all one unit with the gauge cluster there. But quick response time with the screen. Very user-friendly. I mean, all the tabs are pretty straightforward. Got nice soft touch here on the dash, and then down below, the trim that goes across. And then we've got our dual zone climate controls, heated seats as well. Bunch of USB ports there, wireless phone charging pad, and then see with the drive mode select here, auto hold, all of that. More storage, and then more center console. Soft touch here on the top, I like the stitching that goes down. Regular rear view mirror, and then we do have a big sunroof up top. So here's our window sticker for this Sonata N-Line. $36,885 is the total MSRP. So similar in price to a middle of the line Camry. Let's see how it performs. let us set off in the N-Line. By the way, visibility to the mirrors. Throughout the rest of the rear. And well, this is like the worst turn ever. Can't see past the line of cars. Let's see if it's fast right off the bat. Whoa! Yeah, it is. And that's one of the fun things about the N-Line is that wasn't even sport mode. We'll pop into sport mode. It has the fun boosty turbo feel. It is really cool. Okay, the tire is lower than I thought it was. It says low tire pressure. I looked at the tire and it looked like a little bit sad, but not that sad. But that's like 10 psi lower than the other tire is sad. So one more acceleration and then we'll take it easy. That is fun. That is fun. It's a quick car and it's comfortable too. This thing about the Sonata is you got to look at this as like a luxury economy car. And I know that some people might be offended by me calling this an economy car. It has a really cool interior for an economy car, but that's the segment that this competes within, right? It competes against a Camry, competes against the Accord, which, I mean, that's kind of what those cars try to do too, is luxury economy. But the other thing to note about this is it also has performance. The performance with this is very strong. And that's something that I think is super appealing. Because it's not just like it's a, what do you say, boring commuter car like what the Camry's turned into, and the Accord as well, frankly. It's also fun to drive. So it's got a lot going for it from that perspective. And these seats, although aggressive with the bolstering, pretty comfortable. So it's, all things considered, it's a really nice setup. And one thing to note, the dual clutch does do the dual clutchy stuff where it sometimes takes a second to grab, and especially in reverse, that's the place where you really notice the dual clutchiness of the dual clutch. So let me guys think about the N-Line, but this is kind of now in a world all of its own, because I think this came out originally to compete against stuff like the Camry TRD. That doesn't exist anymore. The V6 Accord, that doesn't exist anymore. The 2.0 Turbo Accord doesn't exist anymore. And so it's like all the stuff that this would have competed against is gone. So it's like, if you want a new performance-oriented sedan that's in this price category and in this segment and everything, I mean, this is the only thing I can think of that. Mazda still has the Mazda 3 Turbo, but that's a smaller car. So either way, wish me luck getting this back up the curb. And let me know what you guys think about the N-Line here.